Hey, everybody. Time for another edition of Skipping Lunch After Dark. And today I have some very good folks who are out here, including the only person who has ever run Index Card RPG for me, because today we are talking crit, and I have got Jason, Phil, and Sam on, and they should be popping up right about now. Here they are. How are all of you today?
Doing
All
pretty
right.
fantastic. Today I go on bonding leave.
On bonding leave.
Yep.
How long is that going to last for?
6 weeks.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
I wish I would have had that when our little was born.
Well, like
So-
every dude that I talk to, they're like, yeah, back in my day, I only got 2 days off because I had to take PTO. And I'm like, have kids later? Don't be old? I don't know.
Seriously, I don't know. I'm old. I wish I would have had that. So that's really awesome, and we actually might have some cameos by the little ones. That'll be great.
They're over watching Sesame Street, so you'll probably see them later.
That's always fine. All right, so I'm just going to introduce the folks who are coming in. I'm going to go from my top level all the way down, and I'm going to turn onto my do not disturb because I'm hearing dings, and that's never fun. There we go. First cameo of the night. So I'm going to go from top row down. So first, to my, I guess it's stage left on the screen, I got one Jason, a.k.a. Shadow Mane there. How are you doing tonight?
All right. Doing good.
And
Ready to
you're
talk
representing
about-
crit as a you're representing
one-time
as a crit GM tonight. Yeah, so we're going to have some fun with that.
Yep.
Directly below me is one Phil. And you guys didn't put any of your titles on your lower thirds.
I thought you were going to do
Second
that.
name. No, I told you guys to do it. You guys to do. You can edit your own things. That's one of the nice things about this.
Oh, that second line.
There we go.
It changed.
Watch this.
it
Everybody's
for
just
me.
going to watch and go. That's because you're saved as a speaker.
Yeah.
Watch
It
this.
just-
Everybody's lower third changes. There's Philip. Read the friendly manual. Oh my gosh. You RTF'd M'd it. That's nice. There's Jason.
My
and
lower
Sam the
third could use
Marilotron.
some changing.
There you go.
Alright.
Now look. It doesn't cover your face anymore. So, and Sam's working on his. That should be fine. Wes, your baby is crying. Hi, Eric. That is not mine.
That's my baby.
That is somebody else's baby.
I'll
And
mute
we're-
myself.
We're just going to enjoy it. No, don't mute the thing. There we go. Crick co-founder. So Phil, down there, read the friendly manual. You are one of Crick co-founders, correct?
Yes, with this guy over here.
Yes. Yes, and to your stage left is Sam the Marilotron, who is the other co-founder and Idea Man. I'm interested in what Idea Man means.
It means I don't know when to shut up.
Okay, that's actually pretty good. And your volume just turned way down, so I'm turning you back up. All right, so hey, and Dave's here. Hi, Dave. How are you? And also, if you notice, I have the news ticker running below us today that just has the links for EcclesiaCon, Concoction, and Crit. So go sign up for those, and that would make me very, very happy. All right, so normally on my streams, I do a lot of get-to-know-you questions. It's my version of the Colbert questionnaire. Two of you have already been on channel, so I'm not going to ask the same questions as always. And with three people, I like to mess around a little bit. So here's my first question for all of you. You all are GMs. Good. Sam's got the crazy eyes going. That's kind of fun. For all of you, what is the second game you ever GM'd?
I'm gonna have to make up an answer because it was so long ago I don't remember. You mean the second game system, right?
Yes, second game system.
All right. If I don't separate BX from AD&D, I think it's probably Traveler from '82, the original, the first
Oh,
hardback.
wow. Original Traveler.
Well, not the little books, the
Nice.
first hardback collection.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Very good. Phil, how about you? Second game you ever ran?
Genesis.
I can't
and-
read that, man.
Genesis and the Star Wars system. by Fantasy Flight Games.
Nice.
Really?
Yep.
That's awesome. Okay, I have one of the boxes for that for the starter kits, and I haven't even opened it yet.
Well, down here below my
No.
name tag, there's the entire all that I could purchase before I went broke, Star Wars collection.
That's awesome. How about you, Sam?
It's such a long time ago that I'm not certain, but I can narrow it down to 3. So it
All
was
right, I'll give it to you.
either Rifts, Advanced Dungeons and
Nice.
Dragons, or
Okay.
the TSR Phase Rip Marvel Superheroes.
I thought you did
nice.
Star
Sorry,
Star
Marvel
Frontier.
superheroes.
I didn't run that. I
You
I
played it.
played with the pieces of Star Frontiers before I could read.
Awesome. As one does. Well,
Yeah.
wait, if AD&D was going to be your second, what was your first system?
One of those other two.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember the order those things came in. It's not.
Wow.
I was never one of
listen,
these only one RPG people.
Yeah.
That never.
you were a
experienced-
man of many talents. I love it.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Wes has entered a time where the internet can't keep up. Is my internet connection very slow?
Yeah, your mouth is detached from your voice, and sometimes it gets a little grainy.
That's not good. Of course, it takes tonight to do. Hold on a
Just
second. I'm going to try to speed
jump
it
to
up
the
again.
left.
Oh wait, it's over here. I'm coming over, Sam.
Sometimes when I run a speed test, it decides it wants to get fast again. So give me a second here,
Nice.
because it's not like I can turn my Wi-Fi off and on again. I need to get a hard line in here. Oh gosh,
Now,
it is
I have a
really
question
screwing
for
up
you,
tonight.
Wes, or everybody else.
Go.
Do you find that the first or second games that you ran informed your play style or your game mastering style?
Not the early games.
That's
No.
that is really interesting, and my connection is screwy as all get out. I'm really sorry, guys. No, so and here's the problem. My initial foray into the hobby, I never ran. I never even played. I just collected because I didn't have nerds around. And so what happened is when I started back again with after the pandemic, 5e is the first system I ran. The second system I ran was Basic Fantasy RPG. So if that I was more into rulings rather than rules just because of where I jumped into GMing and also from where I came from, then yeah, I would say the second edition helped me out a little bit, or the second game I ran helped me out, as I'm still trying to get this stupid connection to jump. So what happens is I'm on T-Mobile, and every now and again it decides that I really want to be on a tower that is like 5 miles from here. And there's no reason for it. It just decides that, hey, today you're going to be over here. And it's having problems finding an optimal server. It's very rarely do I get an issue. I might actually go in and try to get one of the ones that let me does port forwarding, which would make me very happy. So, do you know a gathering of nerds is called a nerd diet?
The Light of Venus.
Yeah, so it's going to be one of those days, unfortunately, because it's not connecting. I'm trying to get it to jump. All right, second question here. What is the favorite character you have ever played?
Who's going first?
I think I went first last time.
Okay.
I had a character that started out in AD&D and went to 3rd edition in a Planescape game, and I was playing a caveman named Posca. And he was great.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That character was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Just like flint spear and mammoth skin, leather armor.
That's rad.
Uh-oh.
I think my
Our host
first.
left.
Oop. My favorite
Nah, he
character
should be
is probably
back.
my first one.
So I heard caveman. I restarted my Wi-Fi, so it might actually come back. So we had Pasco the caveman. Phil, what was your favorite one?
Probably my first character because I got to play him for 5 years. It
Oh,
was
that's cool.
Adric the dwarf, paladin of knowledge.
Okay. And what system is this?
Rollmaster.
Oh, that's right. You're a rollmaster guy. How many limbs did they lose?
Well, he didn't lose too many limbs, but he died with a broken clavicle, and he had 15 rounds to live. So the game master let me go out in a blaze of glory, and I got to go into like a whole mess of little goblinoid demon things.
Oh, nice. Professor Dungeon Master would be pleased. Very, very good.
It'd be
Jason,
hard to
how's
fight
what's
with
your
an
favorite
axe with a
character?
broken clavicle.
Yeah.
Right?
Listen, the adrenaline kicks in; it just snaps it into place. You're good. Jace, how about you, man?
Yeah, as you know, I don't play at all anymore. So I'll have to go back to AD&D first edition, and my favorite character was a dwarven fighter named Thanon Ironbeard.
Dwarves.
Actually, I think he started in BX, so he was just a dwarf, and then migrated to being a. Thing is, we didn't role play very much back then. We played it like a battle, like a war game of one. So the only thing I remember about him is he eventually got a Vorpal sword, and I rolled more natural 20s than anybody has ever rolled for no known reason.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, yeah.
that's awesome.
The head
Very,
taken
very
out.
nice. All right. So you're all GMs. Do you have a favorite story of your players defeating a big bad?
So I'll go first for this one. So I just recently, back in December, February, January timeframe, finished up a 2-year Shadow of the Weird Wizard campaign, and they were
Okay.
fighting a giant demon that was coming out of a swirling miasma whirlpool in the middle of the ocean, and it came up and
Okay.
they shot a ballista with a rope and hooked it in the knee. And then, like, one guy was an elemental flying dude, so he basically avatared them all the way to the demon, and then they fought it all the way down, spiraling into the miasma.
Oh, nice. Did
Nice.
anybody live?
Yeah. Well, Shadow
Okay.
of the Weird
Darn.
Wizards,
Wait.
another one of those, the heroes are superpowers.
Oh, okay. A lot of people keep trying to get me to review that. I haven't picked it up yet. So,
I think it's
Jason
pretty
or
fun.
Sam, how about you guys? Awesome. And hopefully, I'm a little faster.
I don't know if I have a great story about the last final boss, but
Oh, no, just
one-
any big bad that
The
they
5e campaign I ran last time that went 3.5 years, there were several interim bosses. I know there was one time where the characters were really getting the crap beat out of them, and one character
Okay.
went by like a demigod, and one character went down to 0. And what they didn't know is this demigod was like associated with the god of death. So if you go down to 0, you didn't get you didn't get death saves. You were just gone. But the
Oh,
person
nice.
who tried to save them was actually was she a cleric? I think she was she was a druid. But this demigod, which this didn't get revealed till later, so they had no way of knowing it at the time. This demigod was trying to manipulate this druid. So when the druid tried to draw the dead character back, the demigod let her do it. So at the time, they didn't know how close they came to never getting that character back again. And they didn't find out
Oh,
for
wow.
months and months and months when they were like, oh, okay, I didn't know this demigod was obsessed with this druid.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. How about you, Sam?
I was running last year an in-person game of the Rad Hack, which is a Black Hack inspired sort of radioactive wasteland game.
Awesome.
And the party had found this old base underground that was infested with this intelligent fungus.
Nice.
And so they basically, there's just like this giant fungal tree growing around the uh the nuclear power plant that powers this underground base.
Oh, wow.
And they're fighting this thing, but they've also been breathing in its spores. So one of them had a grenade launcher, and he just uh, it's just using him with his grenade launcher to fire explosives at them. They're on like this catwalk, and it like blows up the catwalk, and they fall down into this soil that's all around this giant fungal tree. And there are like dead bodies in there, but there's also loot. So this thing's
Oh,
trying to
wow.
like take over their minds. It makes every roll against it extremely difficult because it's just like messing with your head the entire time. And I think one of them like dug up a rail gun or something and just like unloaded on it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it was wild. And then they fled. I think the rail shots like cracked the casing of the nuclear reactor, so they had to leave.
Oh my gosh. So we're all gonna die. You Chernobyl to everybody. That's awesome.
They got into an APC and they
And they took off.
drove away.
Our mission is done. Let everybody else do the cleanup.
Yep, like
All right. How about one time where you GM'd a session where the PC suffered an epic defeat?
So I was running a one shot for a friend of mine, and I made a space station miniature mega dungeon in a space station,
Yeah.
and the players were supposed to go in and retrieve an NPC that was of import to Corpo X. I didn't have a name for it, but they made it in, and they got to the time labs. And it's the classic trope of you go in, you hit the thing, and then you have so many turns before you re-zoop back to this point.
Mm-hmm.
So they got right in front of like the alien mother beast, and they took them 3 turns, and they would go as far as they could, and they would remember things, but the other NPCs wouldn't. And they got to the point where they were going to shut down the portal that was supposed to be like the time portal they could jump into.
Okay.
But they biffed all of their rolls, and I crit 4 times, and I ended up just like taking out two PCs, and they died silently in the middle of nowhere.
Oh wow. That's just painful. Okay.
It
Jason,
wasn't
how
even
about you?
Mothership; it was Index Card RPG too.
Hey. Jason, how about you? Got one where the PC suffered an epic defeat?
I think the best story is actually about when I suffered an epic defeat,
Ooh,
and they
okay.
did. So this is just coincidence. So shortly after I got back, I had the same step away for decades like Wes did. Although I think I came back earlier, like 2017, 2018.
Yeah, you're a few years ahead of me.
And I had started running 5e campaigns. So, and I got 3 of my best friends from that had played back in the day. They had played like in the 80s AD&D with us. And I was like, oh, no, it's not just for kids. You guys got to come back and try this out. So I ran this short adventure, one shot I had written as an intro adventure, and TPK'd them in the final battle. And they're probably going, oh, yeah, that was really fun. I'm glad I tried that again. But I, I didn't have, this was before I really got into, got my wheels back as a GM, so I think it was lost on me that there were only 3 players, and some of the characters had too many Too many attacks.
Also, it's 5e. It's so hard
I
to
hadn't
do.
got to action economy yet. So
I've never figured out 5e's action economy, which is why I hated running it. It was painful. All right, Sam, how about you? Epic defeat.
Epic defeat. Okay, so I was a teenager, and I was running Cyberpunk 2020 for my friends.
Okay.
And I don't know if any of you guys have played that game, but it treats gunshots like they are real bad
Oh yeah.
because they're gunshots. And in the first session of this game, like my friends have made characters, they roll a life path in that game. They like these guys have history. They had girlfriends and parents and like the whole 9 yards. They are downtown in a place and they like are negotiating with like this gang boss. But the face of the party in reality wasn't a very good negotiator and was basically more like a, well, why don't you make me kind of approach.
Okay.
And so I was like, all right, well, they shoot at you. So they did like a short burst at this dude, and I popped him in the head, and he had no armor in his
Oh.
head.
Oh yes.
Pretty good body armor. The other like two hits didn't penetrate, but that one headshot, he was gone, and then someone else took real critical damage when they were trying to charge in to help. And we ended the session with one character dead and one going to the organ bank to get like new internal organs because they were going to be in a vat recovering for the next 2 months. And that was also the last session of that game.
It's like we're not playing that one again.
Yeah. Oh.
They were not quite ready for
Wasn't
the
fun.
lethality of it. Oh, that's awesome. Ay, ay,
And I
ay.
wasn't either. I was like, oh, oops, sorry guys.
Sorry about that. Never in a game where gunshots can be seriously fatal. Do not say, "Why didn't you come out here and make me?" Seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a question from Skillum, but I'm going to save that Skillum for the third part of the interview. So remember it, and I'll put it
lightning
up on
round.
that. It's who founded Crit and where did you all get the idea? We will talk about that in a little bit. So first, I want to talk, especially since Jason's here, I want to talk about GMing at Crit. So for folks who don't know, and the link is down below in that news ticker, Crit is the community-run infinite tabletop. It has been going on for a few years now. We'll talk specifically about that, but it is an online convention. And I want to actually talk about this process of GMing this online convention. So have all three of you run for Crit?
Yes.
Like, have you all run
Yeah.
games for Crit? Okay. Because I know, Phil, you're oftentimes trying to get people in games and stuff. I don't know if you give yourself time. So, yeah, and you have all GM'd a Crit. And for folks who don't know, the only time I've ever played Index Card RPG, Marilotron was my GM at a Crit game, and I doomed our town. And there's the little one. Great. So, talk to me a little bit about what games you've run at this online convention.
Hello.
Okay, I love this kid.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
It's just talking about you.
Yeah,
Did
were
you
in
let-
jammies?
Do you we compare? Oh my gosh! Did you like Sesame Street?
Yeah, super numbers.
The super numbers
Oh, Super Numbers in Sesame
with the
Street.
Dark Nine.
Super numbers.
Oh, Phil, I just realized why you're giving me so much hiss.
Super.
No headphones.
Oh yeah.
There you go. So very good. Hello, sweetie. I like your polka dot PJs. They're awesome.
Stand up. There you go. Show them how big you are.
You're very
Get
big.
up, stand
Do you roll dice with Daddy?
She's got her own set of D6s, her own polyhedrals. Oop, Mom's gonna get them.
There we go. Oh, look at that. We have roadies. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, they're oversized. I love it. Can you hold them up so we can see them? Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're gonna have to GM it crit soon. Another couple
Yeah.
years.
Purple.
We do have Jordan goes plus 3 cuteness added to the stream.
The
They're
numbers.
gonna have to go to bed soon.
Why?
Very, very, very good. Yeah, we could just have a chat with you all night. That would be fun.
Watch my the numbers
That would
tomorrow.
be fun.
Yeah, we'll watch more super numbers tomorrow.
Yeah.
More super numbers.
Bed.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye-bye.
She said
Yeah,
bye.
she can be on stream anytime she wants.
I'll let you know when that's happening.
Yeah.
No, no. All right.
Let's go,
So,
Chase.
We're gonna go.
what games have you guys run for crit over the course of its existence?
So are we talking systems or
Systems.
okay.
Let's talk systems.
I ran RCRPG a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I run Easy D6. I ran Viking Death Squad that one time.
Nice.
I tried to run Grit last year. I really wanted to, but I did get players for it, so I ended up running more ICRPG.
Okay.
I think that's my Electric Bastion Land. I ran Electric Bastion Land.
I need to play that. Like that's when
It's so
I
much
actually need to pick it up. Yeah, because it takes into the odd into like more the industrial age. I want to actually take it. So
Yeah.
very, very good.
You can play a Muppet.
I'm in. I'm totally in.
Am I a Muppet or am I a man?
Oh my gosh.
I'm a Muppet of a man.
Technically
I love
speaking,
that movie.
you play a failed Muppet.
Oh, that's even
Which is
better.
rough.
Yeah, because isn't like Electric Bastion Land, you all start out in debt
Yes.
and you're trying like you're going through.
Sadly,
I love.
sadly,
every
Electric
character-
Bastion Land is where I realized that like, oh, I should buy more stuff in my D&D game so I have a reason to go adventuring.
There you go. Very good. All right, Phil, what have you run in this crit for the last couple of years here?
For the most part, the majority of it was index card RPG.
I'm shocked by that answer, I have to tell you.
I ran Easy D6 a couple times. I wanted to run one of Scotty's Book of quests, so I ran the Castle Horror one. It was pretty fun.
Awesome.
I think the hardest part was trying to find artwork that wasn't dumb.
Oh, yeah.
I tried.
And then I ran Crown and Skull back here.
Okay.
I ran Crown and Skull for my Player's Choice game.
Oh, nice.
Because
Okay.
I had 5 people signed up and one of them showed up. And he was like, "Can we play Crown and Skull? I've never played it." And I was like, "Sure, whatever. I got the maps. Let's do it." So
Okay,
picked it up.
and off
we
you
rolled
went.
did a couple hex rolls and we did a whole improv. Like nothing planned. That was the whole plan.
Oh, that's wild. Awesome.
This year, I'm hoping to run. I'm running Blacklight Institute for Shadow Dark.
Oh, nice. Oh, sweet. That's going to be fun. All right, Jason, how about you?
Let's see. I've only run at last year's crit. I ran 3 games. I ran Hint, the open murder mystery game that I wrote a year or 2 ago.
Oh, I was just about to ask you who wrote that.
Right there.
There it
And-
is.
That guy. Wait.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, welcome to my commercial. So, yeah, it's an open murder mystery inspired by classic murder mystery board games. If that gives you any clue. And then I ran an early version of Six Gun Doomsday. Oh wait, I got to do a commercial here.
Yes, you do.
Six Gun
Out now.
Doomsday. On actually not near retailers near you. Just call me. I'll get you one. I ran an early version of that, and then I was going to run a fantasy easy D6, but I think I switched that at the last minute to another session of Doomsday. I think.
Okay. That's awesome. You ran a lot. You're like
Me?
Dave. Dave like sees an online convention or convention.
Well-
He just runs games.
Yeah, but the cool thing about Crit is it's what, over 2 weekends, right? So I had plenty
Yes.
of time to run multiple games.
That's awesome. I need to figure out a better way to do things like that. So this year I was hoping to run my Chaos Adventure for Cipher System, and unfortunately I will not be able to participate
Yeah,
because
I
I'll
want to
be
get in on.
traveling.
I want to get in on one of your games.
Yeah, eventually I'll happily run that for a stream again sometime. That will be a lot of fun. Dave is running a lot. Dave, that's like saying water is wet. Like you always run a lot. It's good. So see you, Jorben, getting out there. So I do have Chris is trying to get me to run a game from Disney, and I enjoy being married. So one of those things.
Yeah, he doesn't mean a game about Mickey Mouse. He means he's going to be at Disney.
Oh,
You would have to
yeah.
run.
No, don't.
Yeah, no, there's no ducking away for here. I'm just gonna go away for 4 hours and I'll see. It's not gonna
Yeah.
happen.
They're going to be in line for that Seven Dwarfs ride for
Okay,
like 4
listen.
hours. So
I
you're-
am. This is not cheap. I am being there every moment I can.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
there's no
Present,
going out
be
of
very
it.
zen for all the waiting in line in.
The waiting in line doesn't bug me. It's the
heat
jostling.
and humidity of Florida.
Yeah,
You know
I'm
what?
not.
And what got me? So when I went there last year, 2 years ago, I think I don't remember. 2024 was that 2 years?
Yeah, we're on a tangent.
Yeah.
Go.
That was 100 years.
Like what made me super upset is I walked up to the kiosk and I was like, I want a burger, and they're like, how are you gonna pay for that? And I was like, here's cash, and they're like, we don't take cash. I had to put that stupid app on my phone, and then
Yeah,
it
the
stopped
Disney
blowing
app is
up, and I was
there.
like,
Yeah.
I don't want this garbage on my phone.
They I'm surprised they're even allowed to do that, but that's weird. Okay, so let's keep going. And I will say
They get
this:
special rules. They get special rules.
they are Disney. I don't
Yeah.
care about the rest of the thing could be a disaster for me personally. Like my little one is just going to love it from top start to finish.
Yeah.
If I get to fly the Millennium Falcon, life will be good.
That
is
was a good
literally
ride.
all I care about.
That was a fun
So,
ride.
so that's like successful event for me. Not worried about anything else after that. Okay, let's talk about the GMing. So, when you were doing it, two of you are the founders, so I hope it's easy for you. But for you, Jason, as someone who's kind of coming in from outside, connecting to your players after they got signed up for your game, how hard or how easy was that?
The Crit server is pretty easy. You could have players that just don't show up. But if you've got players who are there, because I would feed them all kinds of information. Here's your character sheets, here's background information. And so doing it is easy, unless you have bad luck with your players and
Yeah.
they're just not there. But
At
if they're
this-
going to show, yeah, I think the communication is pretty good.
Yeah, and everything's done on the Crit's Discord.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the hard
Well-
part of getting bumped over, right?
Theoretically, it does, but you can run it on whatever VTT works, including the cool index card RPG VTT.
Yeah.
That- That's your favorite, isn't it, Phil? The index card RPG VTT.
Mine?
Yeah.
I primarily used Foundry, but that's because I paid for it,
Oh,
so
no,
I'm gonna
it's
get my
Chris's.
use out of it.
Okay. Yes, I do. I'm a Foundry guy, so I do like that.
I
All
did
right,
run all
so-
my games just in Discord though, because I only need images.
Well, I
don't-
mean, you're doing comms in Discord. I mean, then you're doing your VTT
Right.
wherever you want, which is nice. So when you were running, how many of your players actually showed up, Jason?
that would require me to remember. Let's say 5. Let's say 5 every time. 4 to 5 players.
Do you remember if it was globe spanning or are they more like centered along your time zone? Because this is across the planet, right? There's people in all sorts of time zones.
I didn't have anybody like playing from tomorrow in Australia.
Okay.
But at least a couple of times I had people in Europe playing.
which is really kind of fun to see
Yep.
how broad the things can get.
If you want to get the worldwide audience, you got to run in the morning.
Right, because that's when
Yeah.
they're all doing their normal day stuff. So, yeah, it is really neat to be able to do that. One of these days, I'm actually going to try to run that in the morning. So we're talking about this being an online convention, but it's still a convention game.
Yep.
So, how many of you have run for in-person conventions? I know Jason has. Phil, have you done it, or Sam?
Not yet.
Not. I have run an in-person game that was like it was a one shot at a large event. It was not a gaming convention.
Okay, but you did like a one-shot game of the
Yeah.
thing. Awesome.
Yeah, I was gearing up to run some games at Midwest Game Fest in Independence, Missouri,
Okay.
but turns out having kids is a life changer, and then
It does do that.
having
Yes,
a
it
second
does.
kid is also a life changer.
They really should have told you that, I think. You should have
Right.
had some kind of information.
Yeah, I think there's a brochure that they give you.
A brochure.
I
Oh,
wish.
that's awesome. I'm putting up the ICRPG community Discord server in the.
Yes. Yeah, we try to make it as easy as humanly possible to connect with the person who's running the game and to like browse games and find what you want,
Uh-huh.
sign on to it, and make it easy for the GMs to like use the tools that work well for them so that they can deliver the game experience that
Yeah.
they want
Gotcha.
for you.
And like almost these days, anybody who's online is most likely going to have a Discord, except for that one guy that
Yeah.
played in Chris's game. That was like,
I had one that wasn't on Discord.
and I was like, "Do you live under a rock?" But anyways, he like most people have a Discord these days, but like when we use Tabletop events as our event coordinator, in addition to uh, Discord, I use that sometimes to especially reach out to those who aren't terminally online like us.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. So I'm interested for you, Jason, because you have run a lot of con games.
A lot. Yeah.
Did you prepare differently for the online convention that you do for an in-person convention?
Well, this convention, Crit, gives me an advantage. At a con, I'm lucky if I know who's going to be at my table 5 minutes before we start, right?
Right.
Now at least I have the opportunity to talk, because I think, Sam, Phil, correct me if I'm wrong, that the room I was using was set up not like an hour in advance, it was set up days in advance. So as soon as people signed up, they could come and talk to me about Six Gun like a week in advance.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
have that. I don't have that at a real con. I don't.
Yeah.
Dave can come on. He's the standing invite. So Dave, you want to come on? Just
I
hop
guess
on. I don't
that's
care.
that's not exactly true. Like at Total Con, I did. They use tabletop events, so I could email people, but it's really a one-way thing. It's not. It's not the same.
So yeah, I mean, I've tried reaching out with my tabletop events.
It doesn't work very
games,
well.
and people don't. They're like, "Why are you contacting me? The convention's in a week." Whereas with Discord, it's
Yeah.
because it's real time. People are more attuned to it. So I got to know some of my players beforehand, and I thought that was kind of fun. So, and
Yeah.
that was the same for CypherCon and Crit, which I really enjoyed. So,
I'm a weirdo. I enjoy forums more than Discord.
All right.
I mean, if you really want to have a good record of what got said, forums are the way to go. It's just the problem is if I don't log into a forum, then I'm lost. Like really lost. Whereas like with the real time, I just have to worry about what the real time stuff is, and if someone pinned a
sure,
message
sure.
and I know what
Yeah.
it is. So, but yeah, no, I totally get that. All right, you should create a crit forum then for people like you.
It'd just be me.
It would just be you. I like that.
We have
It
a
would be
forum
Phil
on
and that
our.
one other guy who doesn't
Yeah.
have Discord.
I'm
I have
waiting
a
for Dave to
forum
log
on my-
on.
Yeah, we
So-
have a forum at Shadowmane if you want to use it. Nobody uses it, so if you want to talk to yourself all day, that'd be a great place to do it.
we have a forum on my Discord
There you
for a
go.
book club where we are theoretically discussing Pirate Board yet, although I don't think anybody's started reading it because it's only like 30 pages long.
I did read Pirate Board. I'll babble
Okay.
at you later about that.
Fun. It is hard to read. It's really cool, but it is hard to read because that's part of the thing. Oh, look, and here he is.
Hard to read?
Because
I was
you're
having
loud.
issues.
You were having issues. Wow, you're loud too. I'm turning you
Yeah.
down. Go ahead.
Well, it's
All right,
supposed to be. It's a board game. It's supposed to be pretty
that's the
in a
design.
chaotic way. It's a punk zine thing. You're not supposed to be able to read it.
This is just very much a punk scene thing. All right, Dave. Differences for you running a crit game versus running another convention game.
The crit people were a lot more nicer than actual regular people at cons.
That's
Regular
Wow.
people.
Oh wow!
That's
Really?
unusual for internet people to be nicer
yeah,
than real life people.
I've made some really good friends from crit that I have played with several times now. So
That's
My
we go.
in-person con is all over the place. I've run into those people that I don't want to see them again. And I've had great people at my table. It's just completely random, and you don't know going into it.
Look at Chris is having FOMO. So I've been lucky so far that most of my convention players have been really good.
I've only had really one bad convention player, to be honest.
Yes, and unfortunately, was it my thing?
It was at Igloo's ago.
So
But it's the with crit, you kind of know who you're getting beforehand. You can talk to them beforehand. That all that is much better than a con where you're showing up and going, "Here's the rules. Here's how to play." Where
Yeah.
before you can go, "Here's the rules. Please read them."
Do you
Right,
think
or
that's
here's-
because of
here's
the
my
lead
video.
time we give to like, hey, we're running the thing, sign up.
yes, the lead time and the fact that you have an immediate communication channel is really helpful. So, and it's just linked for your game because everybody gets a thread,
Right.
and that works really well. So, yep.
Wait a minute. Do you guys read the rules before you start playing?
Well, see, I write the rules
Yeah,
before I
I
start
wrote
playing,
them.
so
Oh, okay.
He still waits till after.
I haven't done the writing thing yet. But I do read all the rules before I play a game. I'm one of those people.
Well,
don't.
last month I ran a game where I was writing it as we were playing, so that didn't work out so well. I would suggest don't do that so much.
Dave's
Don't
done
do
that.
That
I do
sounds-
that all the time.
Yeah.
Dave's changed half of Masked Paul's while I was in the middle of a session. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't like this. We're doing something else. I'm like, okay. Change the whole. I tend to design the other direction. I put 30 pages worth of content on something that should take 5 pages. There you go, Snapper. Very nicely done. All right, let's take a look here. So we are through this. Dave, just for folks to go, because you run a lot of games, give me the litany of systems you have run for crit.
I have ran Index Card RPG, Easy D6. I have ran Ironbound, Plaguebound. This year I'll be doing Mass Pause. Be doing Cloudfall. I'll be doing They Come From Above. I think that's it. I know I'm running 6 games, and Chris
just staring at you.
Chris had to slap my hand and say 6 is enough.
All right. So I would say I would totally keep up with you, Dave.
Look at here's
but-
Chris.
I would totally keep up with you, Dave,
Uh-oh.
but I'm doing a mini campaign, so I'm focusing on one system for the whole week.
And
The
you're
adult
doing
is-
it like throughout sessions, that's different. I'm doing one session, one game. It's a lot easier. And these
Yeah.
are all sessions that I've played in other conventions. So
I did that my first year because like I ran Index Card RPG, Easy D6, and then Index Card RPG, but like different genres, different play styles, and different settings.
I think this year, Chris correct me if I'm wrong. I think I'm doing an Easy D6 and an index card RPG.
And then the
believe
rest
that
of
is
Wrong
correct.
on that.
and the rest
Okay,
of your
that-
systems.
The rest of my systems, yeah.
Yeah, and Dave, I mean, it's a nice way to get players to play test a system that's not your normal sphere of relationships. It's good to see strangers try to kick the tires on something, which is very good. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Good evening, gentlemen. It's good to see you all.
I love your FOMO. Well, if Dave's coming on, I'm coming on.
Oh, no, it's like somebody let Dave off the chain. I was like, oh my goodness, let me get in there. No, we love Dave's work ethic as much as we love his games, because he is a hard-working crit GM who makes sure that people hear about our event, and that is ultimately our goal. That's ultimately part of our mission. And in addition to the fact he is a prolific author and always coming up with new ideas, we want people to be able to come to this hobby and sit down with the guy who wrote the book. Like, that's a big feature that we've been able to bring in years past and are continuing to bring to Crit in 2026. So people need to know about that. Is like, you are sitting down with the guy who wrote the setting, who wrote the rules for the game, who published the book.
But we're going to talk about that.
Are fun extra things.
Yep. So Crit right now, because I get this mixed up. I put those two together. Crit's in its 4th year, correct?
Correct.
So its first year was Runejammer?
It was really Crit, but yes.
Yeah, but I mean,
correct.
it was called Runejammer, but it became Crit after that.
Confusion is not helpful to an event that is growing bigger and better year by year. So, as clever an idea as that was, we are Crit.
You're Crit, yes, it's wonderful. So you're running for a week. This year it's running June 28th or 20th through 28th.
Correct, with early bird Juneteenth sessions for those in the know.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, you went off really to town this year. Okay, so aside from Dave, who's running every system on the planet, and Jason, who's also running a bunch of games, how many events are being run at Crit this year?
We are still adding to the calendar and stuff like that. We are well into the dozens and expecting around 80 games. We could have more.
That's awesome. So should be fun. It does span time zone, so they're always looking for folks like across the globe to be signing up to run events, which would be very, very good. And then as you were talking about, you get the people who wrote the books to run the games. Jason, you held up your book.
That's right. We've got Jason and Dave here, both of who have original systems that are going
Jason,
to be
hold up your books. Hold up your books, man. What are you doing? Do it again. We're talking about you.
Get the book, Jason. Get the book. No, seriously. Very clever, very interesting things that we are like to see. Dave has new material and continuing Plaguebound and Ironbound that we are pleased to see back again at Crit this year. Peter Lang from Tales from Elsewhere is going to have his sessions. So, we love independently published, hardworking creators who go toe-to-toe with the Hasbro product and all these other big publishers and stuff like that. And it's important.
I don't know if we're going toe-to-toe, but...
Hey, one toe at a time, Dave. Don't
maybe some bacteria.
So it is a heavily indie style game. Is Scotty running this year for it?
Unfortunately, Scotty has a conflict this year, so he's not able to make it back in time. But he is, in many ways, the spiritual father of this event for the last several years. And we continue to run lots of Easy D6. I'm sure there's going to be at least one game of the new Dreadful Doomscapes as part of our event this year. Mm-hmm. And we look forward to Scotty's continued support.
That's awesome. And Scott, and if anybody knows Scotty, if he could be there, he would be there, because that's just really who he is. Awesome times. Do you have any other celebrity GMs you have not? I love that term, celebrity GMs that you have not announced yet?
As far as I'm concerned, everybody who is on our roster is a celebrity GM. You know, we
Well,
get
you had
a
a
lot of people
conflict.
who come in to have interest in playing with us because they've got a Kickstarter going, or they're going to do something, or they have a lengthy resume of things to do. But for whatever reason, one reason or another, they may not understand what we're really about. May
Yeah.
not understand that when you GM for Crit as a volunteer for free to help people appreciate this hobby in all of its infinite diversity and infinite combinations, to paraphrase from Star
I
Trek.
was about to say you're going
Uh,
Vulcan on me. It's very nice.
I that is how I live my life when I can. It's a what would Spock do sort of thing. But back to the point. Um, it's the people who are returning GMs and who are our founders and organizers and part of the planning committee, which is every guy that you've got sitting there with you on this screen. They understand uh, that it's not about a resume flex to GM at Crit. They understand that it's about making sure that everybody at the table, no matter who they are, what their background is, what their experience is, what they are into in terms of gaming, to open that door to give them the most amount of fun that they can have.
That's
And these guys that we are sitting with, they care about the hobby. They are deeply versed in it. And anybody who is GMing for Crit could sit down if they had the time and a lack of other life commitments to, and in some cases, even when they
did,
do have the life
I was
commitment,
about to say,
to
did you
sit down
just
and
say that
run,
the
to
crit
sit
people
down
don't
and
have lives?
no, no, to the contrary. What I'm saying is these are people who have the chops, the capabilities to sit
Mm-hmm.
down, write books, run games for pay, and yet
Mm-hmm.
here they are not doing that. Here they are caring enough about the hobby and the community, and they understand the social contract and the social relationships that are underpinned by doing an endeavor like this, to give their time and energy and creativity to it. And so my hat is off to every one of these guys and the rest of our GM roster, because that's why we select them to GM at Crit.
That's awesome. And you do they for folks who don't understand, the process for crit is they are very selective as to who gets invited to run games. So it's not just like open submissions for things. At least it hasn't been in the past. To where you do need to get an invite to run. There has to be a trust, so that when you're playing at a crit game, you should be reasonably confident that this person is going to run a welcoming table, is going to run a well organized table, and that the game is actually going to be fun to play, which
And
it
that
has been my
curated
experience.
experience is how we guarantee
Yeah,
that you can come and be comfortable, and that new
yeah.
people can come, and that no matter who you are, you're going to have a good time. It is exactly that. And we have been fortunate that people who have come to play at Crit, who we have gotten to know or who we know through our community interactions, are
Mm-hmm.
now part of our team, and they have been crucial. You know, some of our two of our most prolific players in previous events are now event GMs at Crit, and we are absolutely 100% indebted to their vigor and their enthusiasm,
Mm-hmm.
first as players and now also as crucial members of the GM team.
Awesome. We do have a question from East Skillum. Are there panels? Which is something that I have asked in the past. Are there any plans to put panels into crit coming up?
There are always opportunities for such a thing to exist. They have not been as well attended as we have liked in the past. It may be the case we will be continuing to add to our event schedule all the way through registration, which opens next Monday on April the 20th. The best thing to do if you are interested in uh, having panels is to do two things. Number one, join our community Discord,
Mm-hmm.
ICRPG community Discord server, and I sent Wes the link.
The
The other
link is
thing to
scrolling
do,
below.
is to get in touch with us on and get on our email list, which we use at gameatcrit at gmail.com. Just send subscribe in the subject line in a message, and we will add you to that. And you can additionally communicate directly with our planning committee, mostly directly with me, through that same gameatcrit@gmail.com email, and tell me what
Mm-hmm.
you want to see. If there's a particular system you want to see, if there's a particular thing that you're not seeing in the event schedule. Our GMs are super good at responding to that kind of input. And I know from years past it has been the case that we have created whole cloth sessions, and in at least one case, a panel discussion that revolved specifically around community input. So
There
we
you go.
we are here to serve.
Awesome. All right, here's what I want you to do. I want Sam to tell us about, you already mentioned when registration's open, but talk about registration opening and what you are using to do registration this year. But I'm going to solo Philip, so we're just going to imagine it coming out of the baby's mouth.
Okay, everybody. So we're using tabletop events for registration. So you go to Crit or you sign up for the emails, and we'll send you a link, and then you will go to tabletop events, and they'll have you create a profile that you can buy tickets, but there is no purchase because the tickets are free. And then you sign up for the games that you want to play in, and you get in contact on Discord with the GM of the game, and they will direct you to the VTT of their choice. Hi, Miss Val. Oh, I'm your mom. Because I'm the baby talking.
Oh my
This
gosh,
is what a
okay.
baby sounds like.
That's awesome. So yeah, we're using tabletop events this year, and which is good. So for folks who are a little bit confused about that, you get a badge, and then you have to purchase tickets to get your seat at the table. Here's my question, folks: is there a cost to doing or to participating in Crit?
0.
Not at
Yeah,
all.
for the audio
So-
listeners at home, 0.
And
Yep.
yeah, 0.
Free.
Nada.
Who said?
That is an important part of what we do. Does it cost money to put Crit on every year? Yes, it does. Do you know how we do that? By the planning committee and a couple of the GMs passing the hat around, and by us focusing on keeping things as low cost as possible. We have an extremely low overhead, and yet we fill routinely 300 plus seats at the table in dozens of games every year. But we ensure that it costs the person playing nothing. The reason why that we do that is because that's part of our mission statement. Our barriers to access for some people is going to be cost. It costs money to get a convention badge. It costs money to play games, but not at
Mhm.
Crit. So that is
Awesome.
one thing that does make us stand out and make us different. And if you are somebody who is a person of means and you want to help us out, uh, go to gameatcrit.printful.me. Take a look at some of our merch that our Andrew of 2716 Gaming curates and coordinates for us. I like the coffee mug myself. That's my favorite. And
It is a nice mug.
get yourself a 2026 T-shirt or even just some stickers for a couple of bucks. 100% of the profits that come from that merch store get rolled back into Crit for future free online games.
And I love your Desperado frog. Skillum,
And I
so,
actually dropped to you in our group DM our new 2026 mascot
oh,
art, just so you could take a look at that. Since we're
Yeah,
changing
I'm
theme
excited about this one. I
and
like
Oh.
it.
going to the Stone Age this year.
I kind of like that. I'm not going to try to bring it up because I will literally my head will explode. I have a question
If
from
you think
Skillum.
about that, where I'm playing this in the Stone Age,
We're very happy. Skillum's got a
how does
copy,
that
and
work?
I'm literally a little confused. Skillum, is there you're talking about like a third party charity, or are you you're asking if you can donate to Crit? Because that's what Skillum said. Is
No,
there an
I'm
option to
just
donate to charity?
I don't have any charity affiliations signed up. Crit is trying to do a public service with zero cost to the people who benefit from that public service. So
Gotcha.
there is nothing else set up. The other reason is part of keeping this low cost and low overhead means minimizing imperial entanglements in terms of anything that requires taxation, official registration in terms of government or revenues. So if we were to do that in a formal way, it would be harder for us to bring Crit to the public.
You went Star Trek and then Star Wars in about 15 minutes.
I
That's
got
actually
it all,
pretty good.
baby.
All right, so as I'm kind of at the end of my questions. I just want to bring up for Jason, because this is, you GM'd last year. You're coming back this year. For GMs who have been asked and are still a little bit on the fence, they're not quite sure what they want to do if they're into doing an online convention. What's kind of your pitch to folks that this is something that they might want to try out?
If you've never run at a live convention, this is a great way to get into it because of all the advantages we already talked about. You know who your players are going to be. You can talk to them in advance. It's a great way to start. It's pretty easy to get into, right? You can use your VTT of choice. You can use nothing. You can use graphics. The other thing, Chris, I don't think we have this set up, but we could just have a chat on the index card server, right? If anybody's on the fence,
it certainly
and-
can be done all on Discord if somebody wanted to do Theater
Yeah.
of the Mind, and maybe just with minimal screen
Right.
service. It could
Right.
totally be done just by having somebody join Discord. You're absolutely right, Jason. And to your point, the other thing that you get as a GM, or at least I hope you feel you have as a GM now, a returning GM, is that you have a support of the rest of your team members who have done this before. So if there are things that you need, or if you're trying to troubleshoot this, it is. We try to keep this simple, and we try to give each individual, all volunteer GM who is part of our roster, as close to complete autonomy to run that session, and also, of course, responsibility for running that session as we can muster, while still maintaining that curated experience for the participant public. One of the things that we want to be able to do is to show somebody who comes to Crit and plays that this is a replicable thing. There's no reason that there couldn't be an event like Crit every month instead of once a year, because all it really takes is a dozen or a couple of dozen of people who are like-minded and want to be of service, with enough skills to pull it all together. Just don't run it in June. But if anybody wants to talk to me or to Phil or to Sam about running this and get some pointers about how to start their own, we would love to give you that impetus, because ultimately what we want to see is more of this kind of opportunity that's just going to invite people into the hobby, and for the people who are already in the hobby to give them more opportunities to do what they love.
All right. So here's a question
Wes,
with Skillen.
there's
Go
something-
ahead.
There's something we don't talk about a lot, but if you're a player and you don't regularly GM at cons, right? So you're thinking, maybe next year I'll do it. This is a great way to learn, right? Because you've got access to the GMs. You can ask them before, you can ask them after, right? So whereas at a live con you don't always get that. So here, you can play in a bunch of games this year, learn how to do it, and then go off to your local con or do your own thing.
Well, like I said, I have people now in my Discord server who I met through Crit because they followed me along.
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely, and I know literal dozens of play groups that formed from sessions that played at Crit that now, a year or more later, are still playing together in regular, casual games.
It's
great.
It's one of the great things about the hobby. I got a question from the chat from Skillen. Is the ICRPG server the Crit server? How did that happen?
The independent ICRPG community server, which is the fan-run community, Runehammer fan community independent server, that's where this whole thing started. It was Sam, and it was Phil and a couple other of us that were members of that particular server who got together, had the idea to try to make this happen, got the blessing from Glocka, the guy who runs that server, and it was magic from there. But that is our crit home, that is our internet home, and that is our Discord home.
Mm-hmm. And here's the question from Ricky Snapper for that, and I'll leave this most. Let's let Jay and Dave answer this one first. Hardest part of everything that you're talking about is learning to run on a VTT instead of running in person. So how do you do that transition for folks? Because I'm assuming that Wiki might want to run with like minis and things like that. What's the transition like that for you doing your VTT stuff?
I mean, when I started, I was already doing VTT stuff, so I'm probably not a good one to start with this topic because that's where I started. So
you're at home while you're doing that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
more alien to run with minis and stuff. How about you, Jason?
Well, personally, I run a lot of theater of the mind with just splash graphics here and there. But if you don't use, if you're not used to the VTT and you don't want to worry about Foundry or even Roll20, the ICVTT is as simple as it gets.
yeah, it is.
Dave, the one that you used the other day, Quest Line, is that
Questline, yeah.
Yeah, I mean these are, you could pick them up and, you know, just have your brother on the phone and have the walk through these things, and these are really easy. I use, a lot of the times I'll use Owlbear, which is a little bit more complicated than these, and I just email PDFs, and you've got that there right in your tab,
Yep.
and then that way I don't have to, because that's a big, if you're a VTT developer, you know that that's a big step, right? If you're going to support character sheets, you're in a whole different realm. So that's what I do, is just email PDFs and use one of these simpler VTTs.
And off you go. So here's my advice for trying to learn how to use VTT. Is a lot of them have free demos that you can try for a time, or free plans. Like Roll20 has a free tier that you can use. Find a VTT that thinks as closely to the way that you think. Because software kind of gets developed with like intended workflows in mind. And so if you hit something that is designed to work a different way than you're used to working, you're just going to butt up against the software
Also-
constantly.
Just keep it simple.
Yeah, you don't have to go nuts.
Go simple. Do your first thing. You don't have to have these special graphics and these effects and stuff like that. Just literally plop down character tokens and move them around a gray board with a
Draw
grid on
a
it.
circle, tree.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say
a tree.
Yeah,
if you
what
don't know
Dave-
anything else, get a Miro board.
Yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what Dave is suggesting, and to Phil's point, um, there is something that in the Runehammer fan community we like to call the virtual campfire. Um, that is just a common game space on a VTT, just a single screen where you can focus, where everybody can come together. Maybe there's tokens to represent the characters that are in play. Maybe you got as fancy as adding how many hit points everybody has all at the same time to keep track of that. And then again, in kind of index card style, as things are needed, you drop a node here and there. You drop a graphic that represents something. If somebody gains a particular special MacGuffin, you drop that token on there. It's just enough to keep everybody engaged and fully connected in the game, and you can pick up everything visually without a lot of explanation. And then you run your theater of the mind game. It's really just an augmented theater of the mind game. It's very easy for people who are traditional theater of the mind or tabletop mini players, GMs, to be able to transition to that form of game presentation. It's very elegant. It's not overwhelming for somebody who's never used a VTT. You know, you get a lot of people who get overwhelmed who are new to the hobby. They come and they, are on a really bells and whistles Roll20 game or Foundry game, stuff like that. There's a lot going on. Even just learning how to manipulate the things that they have
Yeah.
access to can be a lot. And I've seen the simplest things fail in even the best of those systems. So less is more frequently when you're presenting them, especially when you're presenting them to newcomers who are not experienced online role players.
Awesome. Good
I have
thoughts, man.
found that I am doing less in my VTTs than I used to.
Yeah.
So
By the way, I've mentioned ICVTT a few times. You'll get the support in the crit server, so it's a good. If you're not
Yes.
sure of what you're gonna do, the people that you're gonna ask about crit are the people you want to ask about the VTT. So, yeah.
We are now getting theater of the mind jokes.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm not going. Not going there.
and also
That
Wiki
sounds
Snapper, you're part of the Discord, some Discords. Just shoot me a DM.
Yeah, you can
I'll walk
ask
you through stuff.
any of us to do stuff because Wiki, I think you're on like most of our discords at this point. So very, very good. I think Sam, are you not on mine yet?
I am not.
Wow,
I should fix that.
I have excluded you. I'll have to fix that.
I
So,
don't think that's true.
well, it is an invite-only server, so I've excluded you. This is one of
Oh,
those
all right.
times where I've
Very
kept you up.
exclusive.
It's very exclusive. I let people go, can I be on your server? Sure. I just don't want bots. So very cool.
That would be nice.
We'll get you on. That's why I keep it not public. So, all right, folks. Last thought. I'm going to go with Philip because you've just been holding babies and moving mouse for a bit. Give people the pitch, and then we'll let Sam take it up from you. Why should people be registering for Crit starting on? Is it April? When is registration starting? The 20th. April 20th.
No
Why
pun
should
intended.
people?
Maybe pun intended. I don't know. It's
I have no idea. Go.
So, the pitch of why you should come to Crit is this is going to be a friendly community of a week full of games. And if you're ever been like, man, I wish I could play more than just once a month or once a week, Crit's the place to go. If you want to learn something, other than 5e or learn the tricks of the trade from someone who knows what they're doing, Crit's the place to go. We need to get more demos and stuff. But there's plenty of people, and the sessions after, like the 2 hours afterwards, are the best conversations I've ever had.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, and like for all the people out there who's just like, I never get to play. I've been a GM for 23 years and I have forgotten what it's like to feel the joy of play. But come on, sign up for an online game. You can do it for one night. You don't have to run any games. We'll play. We'll have a great time. You'll roll a 20 and we'll shout, "Yay!"
Yay!
Or
Just
if it's Crown and Skull, we'll go, "No!"
Or if don't play a Pied Piper game with the Merlotron, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, don't play with me because I'll turn it into the darkest, most horrible thing ever. Where it's like, all right, and the demons remain in the children.
I doomed an entire village to being like possessed by demons because I thought I was being clever, and that was the end of the session. I'm like, great, that was awesome.
That set it up for like an ongoing thing that never happened, but would have been interesting. Like,
I'll go back and revisit that. That was fun.
Yeah.
So, very, very good. But Chris has vanished.
Oh no!
connection.
They got him.
Bits.
Uh-oh.
That's why
He's
we
back.
keep him around.
He's back now. So awesome, guys. Well, we are about an hour and 13 in. We have said some wonderful things about Crit. It is an incredible event. I am bummed I am missing it this year.
Come
I
play.
really
It's
am.
fun.
Everybody should come play, and it's fun. I mean, it's so fun that Dave and Chris just had to jump on because we were talking about it, and like, well, I know how to get on that, and they jumped on the chat, which is great. So, guys, thank you so
That's
much
why
for
you-
being on.
That's why you don't make those things public, Wes.
Oh, Dave, see, I can't keep Dave off because Dave is like my Ramble Stream partner, so he has like a permanent link. Actually, Jason does too, which I just don't think you saved your link for it. So those guys can like jump on any chat I am ever doing. It's like, I want to talk to this person. So like Dave has popped into like interviews like after I've gotten done. He's like, I just wanted to say hello. That's great. Wiki, you say you doomed a village. I say you've added to the lore of the world. It was really fun. So I am going to give everybody a good night. You all stay on the line so I can say thank you properly afterwards. Everybody should go and sign up for Crit. It is an absolute blast, and I will be right back to talk with you. Thank you all for coming on. Yes, Philip, go.
I was gonna say, Skillin wants this. You don't want to talk about 3d6 and the probabilities and distributions of six, like on a percentile scale, and how it all works out. That a d6 is the same as a d20, and 3d6 is like a percentile roll.
You know, Phil,
I
I
have
always
learned-
talk about that with you.
I have learned more about math because of Phil, who like does like the mathematical calculations of like
Say,
every
Phil,
roll on the
And hey, can you
planet.
take a look at this and see if the math is right?
Everything. Like Phil will go philosophical for like 15 pages in a Discord chat to talk about the roles of a game, and it is absolutely amazing. So if you've never had a chance to talk with him about any of that, go over to ICRPG's server and just poke his brain, because you will not get off until you've learned something. It's a lot of fun. You all stay there. I'm going solo for a second. So, folks, they are a lot of fun. The folks who run Crit are amazing. The event is absolutely incredible. You've met two of the GMs tonight who are both very good friends of mine. We've all made friends through this wonderful game. If you have not played a TTRPG and you're looking to get into it, or you're just looking for folks to hang out with, this is a great place to go. It is a great event to do it. It is free. So it's June 20th, I want to say 28th through 20th. It's June 20th through 28th. Registration opens on April 20th, and it is a gameatcrit.com to get to the registration link. Go and do it. So coming up on channel, I have got a video on doing spontaneous play that is recorded. I am about a third of the way through editing it. Hopefully I can get it done tonight and actually get up on the channel tomorrow. Random thoughts are coming. I've got another couple of interviews scheduled and a couple of actual plays, and book club is coming up for talking about Pirate Borg. Look for that in a week or two. I am looking forward to bringing all of this to you. Thank you for hanging out tonight, and until we see each other again, folks, happy playing, everyone.